VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
A very good morning and welcome to Arden Street Oval here in North Melbourne for today's round 12 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Clash between Melbourne Uni and Carlton. Toss of the coin in the middle of the ground. Looks like we've got to do a retake on the toss of the coin in the middle. So not a good start by the umpires. Actually, we might go third time lucky. They're going third time lucky in the middle here at Arden Street Oval. Anthony Stangett's with you, joined today in commentary by Brad Mullins and Peter Lausch. A very good morning to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Anthony. What a beautiful day here at Arden Street.
Good afternoon, guys. Looking forward to a really good game today. Perfect conditions. There's a little bit of a wind to the city end of the ground, so it'll probably favour the right of screen for the duration of the game.
The home team, Melbourne Uni, currently sitting in 6th spot. So sitting in that final spot in Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. 10 games played for the season, 5 wins and 5 defeats, coming off a loss in the last round to Collingwood. An away game up in Morwell. They take on a Carlton team sitting a bit further down the ladder in 11th spot. Played 9 games, 2 wins, 6 defeats and a draw. And Carlton last week in round 11 action had a good win, a big final term up against Williamstown. So eventual winners by 33 points. Close game between Carlton and Williamstown last week, but as we saw, Carlton coming home strongly and getting a nice percentage-boosting win to finish that game.
Yeah, the first half between those two sides was very even, and then the experience of Carlton just shone through in the second half, and maybe a bit of a half-time spray by Shannon McFarren may have also lifted the Carlton girls against Williamstown.
Yeah, Jess Hosking in a unusual position of being the leading goal scorer last week for Carlton. She only kicked 1 goal going into last week's match and finished the game with 3. Dalton kicking 2 goals. In the other result, as we mentioned, Melbourne Uni taking on Collingwood up in Morwell. And, it was a strong start by Melbourne Uni, leading at quarter time, but then the Magpies taking the advantage after that, kicking 4 goals to 3 after quarter time, and eventual winners just by the 4 points. All single goal scorers last week for Melbourne Uni, and Ash Riddell leading the way with 29 disposals. She's been great in just 5 matches this season, averaging 30 disposals a game. And looking forward for the clash between probably herself and Maddie Press-Barkas in the middle of the ground in today's clash. Yeah,
that'll be a fantastic clash. Maddie Press-Barkas playing at Melbourne Uni a couple of years ago, so Ash would know some of her strengths and weaknesses as well. And great game last week down at Morwell. Just a shame that Melbourne couldn't hold on to against a mighty Collingwood side who have just blitzed this year.
Yeah, be a great lineup looking at our camera at the moment. Darcy Vesio back into the Blues lineup, her first VFL W game. Won the goal kicking last year, the Rowena Young medal with 26 goals. But it's going to come back into the midfield, so starting on the wing and looking forward for the clash with her up against Caitlin Ashmore in today's game. Alison Downey, also a return to the team, as we saw from that ruck duel, but it was Jenna Bruton. She gets the ball out of the middle very quickly and straight down to Jasmine Garner, the leading goal scorer this year for Melbourne Uni. And she'll attempt to put the first score on the board in this round 12 clash. It's a great ball movement out of the middle by Uni. Let's see what Jasmine can do. 12 goals so far this season. Is that 13? Lucky 13 for Garner. She has it on the board, and great start in the first 40 seconds of this clash. Melbourne Uni 1 goal straight, 6 to Carlton yet to score. Of course, on the Choose Tap scoreboard. The scoreboard operators Just need to update the two teams up there, but great start out of the middle, sharking Downey's ruck tap.
Yeah, a fantastic start. Within the first minute, a goal to Jasmine Gardner from Melbourne University. I can see how the scoreboard controllers got confused because Melbourne wearing the dark jumpers, Carlton wearing the light jumpers.
We'll get that updated very shortly. Downey with another tap. She's going up against Viv Sard in today's clash, with Kate Gillespie-Jones in the role of midfielder in today's clash. Trying to get the ball out again. Jenna Bruton kicking it inside forward 50. Garner turns around, finds an option. Ashmore, can she get the ball over the top? She does now. Back to Ashmore. Kick towards goal. It's touched over the line and through for a rush behind. So Melbourne Uni doing all the attacking inside forward 50 early. 1-1-7 to Carlton, yet to score.
Garner and Bruton looking dangerous early on, and we've seen that many years with Williamstown and the St Kilda Sharks, that combination.
Oh, great intercept by Sophie Abbatangelo, and she's a chance to line up for her second goal of the season. Playing a bit further up the ground this year. Suffered a bit in inaccuracy as well. 1 goal, 4 for the season so far. Can she right that inaccuracy now? On the last line, good work by the Blues defence. They get a clearing kick, and Ash Riddell takes the intercept mark and will line up from directly in front.
It was a great mark there by Ash Riddell to take that. She's probably about 25 metres out in front, so she's got a very good chance of kicking this, and she's had a great start to the game so far.
Yeah, that's what they like. 30 disposals a game just in her 5 matches so far this year, coming back from injury. And similar to her season so far, she's kicked now the 7 behinds this season, so 4-7 for season 2019. But another behind on the board for Melbourne Uni, 1-2-8 on the Choose Tap scoreboard. Carlton yet to score, setting up well. Ebb gets it to Ashmore, back inside forward 50. And Abbatangelo from the opposite pocket to where she took her last shot. She's going to dish off fairly quickly. Bruton in the middle. Gillespie-Jones, Bruton, takes the opportunity, goes Colwood, and is wayward once more. 1-3-9 Melbourne Uni, doing all the attacking to start this first term. Carlton yet to score. And the Blues just needing to settle down, Pete, as they bring the kick in.
Yeah, no doubt. They've really just got to work their way through this first couple of minutes.
So Hosking with the ball and half back. That's Jess Hosking. Gets it over the top to Vesio. Bringing it along this broadcast side wing. Britt Gutnick from the Northern Knights on debut, 23rd player today. She was looking further up the field for her teammate. And Kubash over the football. McKay. Good defensive work by Melbourne Uni. Moore just seeing the ball over the line. Under a bit of pressure by Gurr. And we will see a boundary throw in. About 60 metres out. We'll probably end up on the 50-metre arc for the Blues.
I like this one thing, VFL W, where the boundary umpire comes in about 5-10 metres to throw it back in.
Works in well, bringing it back into the corridor. Ash Riddell got the ball off quickly to trend to Ashmore. Finding their targets well early, Melbourne Uni. Along the broadcast side wing. Looking for Bateman in for her first game of the season. Gets it off to Bruton, who's been lively early. Inside forward 50. Good defensive effort by the Blues. Garner got the ball back to King. King inside forward 50. Gillespie-Jones. She's got a player all by herself. Can she get it to her in the goal square? She can. Great vision. Kate Gillespie-Jones moving it quickly.
That was fantastic there by Gillespie-Jones. She's in a bit of form. She had a great game last week. She had 12 tackles and 15 disposals, and she's carried on that form early here.
So Katie Angelis lines up directly in front, and we'll just wait for the signal. The goal umpire went a long way to his left, to his right, and Katie Angelis on the board with first of the day, her 8th of the season, and a great start by Melbourne Uni in this round 12 Swiss Wellness Clash.
You could see from that ball in the way Melbourne Uni was just setting up behind the ball, and then once they got the ball, how they just moved it forward really quickly and caught Carlton off guard there. Well done, great goal.
Also good work by Daisy Bateman, just shepherding and keeping her opponent from that contest as well, making sure that they didn't get close to it. So 2 goals to start this first quarter. 5 minutes in, just about to tick over to the 6-minute mark. Downey's been dominant in the middle. I'd hazard to guess she's probably won all centre ball up so far, but it's been Melbourne Uni that's used their midfield the better in this contest. That's a great matchup in the middle of the ground as well. Gabby Newton taking on Kate Gillespie-Jones. Newton just coming back from All-Australian honours at the VFL W Under-18 Championships up on the Gold Coast. As the Blues go inside forward 50.
That was a great kick there into the forward line for the Blues.
So kick goes long towards goal. Looking on that occasion for Sarah Wright. Duffin kicks it back out. Good work by Melbourne Uni, moving it off the half-back line. They come up towards centre half-back, moving her way through Whitford. Kick intercepted by Hosking. They go inside forward 50 now. And the mark taken. I don't think that was a push. I think she just tripped over on that occasion. Ball being brought out by Moore. Finds her teammate in Ebb. So working well off the half-back line. Looking for Gillespie-Jones just with a height advantage over her opponent. And that was Marnie Jarvis. Kick intercepted though and taken by Sarah Hosking. So Hosking will set up the play from the broadcast side wing. Wobbly kick inside forward 50. Ebb couldn't take it. She lost her footing. But cleaning up at the back. And that quarterback role again today. Jess Duffin will set up the play once again for Melbourne Uni. Likes to go in short, finds Jess Trend. Just off an appearance in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Team of the Week. They're going in with short with their kicking. Julian takes the mark. It was dangerous, but they found the target in the end. Duffin again racks up another disposal. Brings along this broadcast side wing. Duffin averaging 27 disposals from her 3 games so far this year. Gillespie-Jones got it off to her teammate. Cox under plenty of pressure now. Runnels back. Riddell along this broadcast side wing looking for Garner over her head. Bateman taking it over the line. And we'll see a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position here at Arden Street Oval. Anthony Stangus, Brad Mullins and Peter Lausch with you this morning.
Good result there for Melbourne Uni because they were outnumbered on this social club side of the wing.
2-3-15 Melbourne Uni plays Carlton, yet to score. Riddell, wide handball, finds her target now. On the bounce to Runnels. Runnels back to Riddell, up towards half forward. Garner now, over the football. Working hard for it was Gemma Wright. And just seeing the ball over the line, we'll see a boundary throw in at left half forward for Melbourne Uni.
Melbourne Uni used the ball really well then. They didn't kick it long. They just looked for the easy target, and they've worked it from one end of the ground to the other. Fantastic work there by Melbourne Uni.
So I'll have that boundary throw in. Just Trent's got the job on Katie Loynes. Loynes in for her first appearance of the season. Handball comes out. Back to Sard. Handball's over the top. Finds her targeting King. King has a bounce. Oh, tackle from Loynes. And the ball 25 metres out from the Melbourne Uni goal. They go to Garner. Couldn't get her hands on the football at ground level. Fighting for it hard. Great strong tackling by the Blues. That was Chisholm. They'll have a ball up. 30 metres out directly in front for Melbourne Uni. Downey, good tap. Pressbarkis got the ball over the top. Clearing kick. That was from Gemma Wright. Out towards sister Sarah. She gets it over the top. Looking for Dalton. Dalton against Riddell. They get it out wide. Good work. Centering kick. Looking for a teammate again. Couldn't find Pressbarkis. Now ball dribbles towards the forward 50 for Melbourne Uni. Good smart kick off the ground. Jarvis couldn't get it. Now here's an opportunity for Uni inside forward 50 off the pack. Great opportunity now for Gillespie-Jones. Unorthodox, but it doesn't matter if it goes straight through the middle for a goal, and she's put through her first of the afternoon now. And Uni leading 3-3-21. Carlton yet to score, and we've gone 10 minutes in this first term.
How about Gillespie Jones, a really tall player, and she just crumbed that ball like a rover, and got maximum value for a kick there, and the lead's now gone out to 3-3-21 to Carlton yet to score. So they're playing really good football, Melbourne Uni, at the present minute.
It was a good kick by Jessica Trent then to get it long into the goal square, I thought. Great kick by her.
Yeah, Gillespie Jones swapping with Jasmine Garner in that forward role, playing in the midfield today. And some of her stats are exceptional. Number 1 for disposals, number 1 for inside forward 50s, and number 1 for marks in VFL Women's this year, and averaging 22 disposals a game. As Garner now, she'll potentially look for, as Gillespie Jones a bit further afield, but great defensive effort. Saxon Jones in for her first game, the Western Jets forward ruck. She also back from the VFL W Under-18 Championships, the undefeated Vic Metro team. She'll be catching up with a few of her Vic Metro teammates today in Gutnick and Newton. Ball, short chip kick, all by herself is Caitlin Ashmore, and she'll attempt to kick her first goal of the season. And it was a bit remiss of me not to mention Garner and Ashmore both playing their 50th VFLW games today. So congratulations to both those players on their milestones. As Caitlin Ashmore, well, that probably gives a bit of insight into her 0 goals for the season, which is a bit unfortunate, out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw-in in the right forward pocket for Melbourne Uni.
We'll see how Melbourne Uni, the forwards, lock it in there. Every time they get an inside 50, they just defend really, really well.
You can see Jess Duffin just creating the wall in the centre square. So still inside that forward 50 arc for Melbourne Uni.
At the start of the year, we spoke about Melbourne Uni being one of the dominant teams, and it's probably one of the teams to beat, and they're showing it here in this first quarter what they're capable of.
Yeah, great contest against Collingwood. I think they're certainly two teams that are going to meet in the finals this year. Vesio off the half-back line, gets it on the left boot. Duffin, almost the intercept. Good work by the Blues to hold it in. On the outer side, Hosking with the tackle. Umpire, no choice but to receive the ball, and we will have a ball up. Just very quickly looking around at a few of the around the ground scores. 2 games currently in progress. Darebin Falcons taking on Geelong, and it's Darebin leading by a goal, 2 goals straight, 12 to the Cats, 1 goal straight. Mel Morris Dalton and Georgia Hammond the goal kickers for the Falcons, and Webster the goal kicker for Geelong. We'll give you an update. Scoring issues at Williamstown currently, but it is Essendon leading by a goal. Great hands. Angelis gets the boot, but Duffin.
Fantastic.
Great defensive mark over the pack. Finds a target, does she? She does. It's centre half forward. Good mark taken by Holly Whitford. She kicks down the corridor looking for Saxon Jones. Couldn't find her. And Alice long towards goal. Bouncing football. Has it hit the post? No, it hasn't. Has it gone through?
Jeez.
It's a goal.
Yep.
It is a goal on the line. I thought it originally hit the post, but it looks like Caitlin Ashmore gets her first goal of the season. And in strange circumstances, but it is the 4th goal. 4-3-27. They lead Carlton. Yet to score. Nearly 15 minutes gone first term here on VFL.com.au and SEN2.
That all started with a courageous mark by Jess Duffin, and then the pinpoint accuracy to Whitford. And the crummers for Melbourne Uni have been fantastic this morning in the once it's in the attacking 50.
No doubt, Laushi, you're exactly right. And they've only had 1 inside 50, I think, for this game so far, Carlton. And Melbourne Uni is one of the most dominant quarters of footy I've seen in a long time.
That's why I rate this side so highly, and I reckon there might be a Collingwood-Melbourne Uni grand final as well.
And not really a breeze to that left of screen either. It's more towards the right of screen as Garner gets a handball to the running through teammate in Ebb. She kicks up towards 7.5 forward. Riddell gets the handball away. Working hard for it. The kick goes in from Lynch in for her first game of the season. Ashmore 2 bites at it. Takes a strong mark. And she's a chance to go back and line up for her second of the quarter. And haven't they got the runners just moving forward?
The support running and the vision of Melbourne Uni has been outstanding. Like the Carlton coach is going to have to do something very shortly.
That is better from Caitlin Ashmore. Long and direct. One of the kicking yips behind her and kicks her second goal of the game. And fifth for Melbourne Uni in a dominant first term. They've outkicked their, I think, scoreline from last game, 5-3-33. And Carlton yet to score, 16 and a half minutes gone in this first term. Listening live on SEN2 and broadcasting on VFL.com.au and also via the VFL app. Anthony Stangers, Peter Lausch and Brad Mullins with you. Pete?
Carlton wouldn't want this lead to get any bigger. Like they would be hoping to get a goal before quarter time with only a few minutes left in this first quarter. But a dominant performance by Melbourne Uni and a fantastic team out there today for them as well.
Yeah, Hosking having gone to Ash Riddell now, and the matchup of Garner and Pressbarkis. So winning the midfield battle at the moment. Melbourne Uni, they kick it up towards half forward the Blues. Good strong mark. A chance to go inside forward 50. That was from right onto Pressbarkis. She'll line up. No, she doesn't. Elects to go inside forward 50, looking for a target. Working hard for the football was Dalton. Melbourne Uni over the ball and under pressure. Duffin in the contest as well. And we will have a ball up just 15 metres out from the Carlton goal.
The defence of Melbourne Uni, fantastic. The hunting is very hostile out there at the present minute.
It is. Pressbarkis now round the corner. Goes goalward. Duffin at the back. Takes almost a similar mark she did down the other end of the field. But it is a behind on the board. First score of the game for Carlton. One behind 1 point. Melbourne Uni 5-3-33. That, of course, on the Choose Tap scoreboard. Duffin to bring the ball back into play. Does so to this broadcast side wing and Wright takes the mark. Sarah Wright. Oh, good smother off the boot. That was by Runnels. And we'll see a boundary throw-in inside the forward 50 arc for the Blues.
Jess Duffin's been fantastic this first quarter. She plays that role probably behind the ball in the back line, and she's probably taken one or two intercept marks, and she just knows where the ball's going to be.
And the whole defensive 50 working well for Melbourne Uni. Downey in the front spot. Tries to go tunnel ball as Bruton gets her kick away. Short chip kick found Runnels. She goes back. Wasn't the required distance. Ebb will now go across goals.
Ooh, dangerous.
Was dangerous and opens it up for Darcy Vesio. Takes the intercept mark and she'll line up from 35 metres out directly in front. And let's see whether she can continue on from her form last season in VFL W.
She's got a bit of a breeze behind her, so distance shouldn't be a worry. It's just the accuracy now here. Let's hope for Carlton that it is a 6-pointer.
Darcy Vesio directly in front. Doesn't make the distance, goes off to the right-hand side. Working hard for the football is Hosking, of the Jess variety. And we'll see a ball up. 40 seconds left in the term, as you heard probably in the effects mic. Just announcing it to the team. Good tap down. Here's at one final chance for the Blues to get a major on the board before quarter time. Okay, tackle to the ground. Time ticking away. Might just have one final opportunity. 20 seconds left in the term. What can the Blues do? They tap down. Garner took it. Vesio.
Free kick.
Didn't have the ball. Free kick. And that will be the end of the term. So final opportunity gone for Carlton. Melbourne Uni, dominant first term. And that will bring a close to quarter one here. Round 12 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's action. And Melbourne Uni, what a dominant first term. 5-3-33. They lead Carlton 1 behind 1 point. Pete, I'll get you to run us through the quarter-time goal kickers.
Quarter-time goal kickers, and they're only going to be Melbourne Uni goal kickers as well. Gillespie Jones has got the single, Ashmore has got 2, Garner's got a single, and Angelis has got a single as well. So that's the 5 goals for Melbourne Uni, great start. All their big names really involved in that first quarter. The Garners, the Brudens, the Gillespie Joneses, and anything Carlton did in that first quarter was always under a bit of pressure or perceived pressure. And definitely Shannon McFarren's going to have to swing a few changes at quarter time for Carlton.
Just looking at the stats, guys, this quarter was the highest scoring quarter for the year in the VFL W. So very high scoring when we look at it, 5-3-33. A lot of teams, are getting to around 40-50 points. So it's a very big quarter, and I think that the biggest quarter we've had so far was by Collingwood a few weeks ago. So they're in line to maybe break the highest score if they keep this going and they're going to have the win in the second quarter, probably aiding them a little bit as well. Yeah,
it's surprising that all the goals went to the end of the ground where against the wind or a slight breeze coming sort of from the west here at Arden Street.
Yeah, looking around the ground scores, quarter time at Darebin, and that scoreline hasn't changed. 2 goals straight, 12 to Geelong, 1 goal straight. And at Williamstown, the last score that we got from that game was 1 goal straight to Essendon. Williamstown yet to score. We'll get you some other update scores and find out where those games are at after the quarter time break. For our video stream watchers, they're watching the first quarter highlights. For those on SEN2, we're going to go to a quick break, and after the break we'll be back with a big second term of action right here on VFL.com.au.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work. Totally Workwear.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Welcome back to Arden Street Oval, and what a dominant performance we have seen from Melbourne Uni in the first term. 5-3-33 to Carlton, 1 goal straight, 1 behind, 1 point, and of course on the Choose Tap scoreboard. And gentlemen, once again, a recap for our viewers and listeners that have just tuned in. Some details on that first term with, it was probably an advantage in the ruck from Carlton, from Downey back into the team today, but that midfield, moving it forward from Melbourne Uni, was the difference.
Exactly right, Anthony. Bruton, Riddell, and also Duffin down back were probably the 3 main players I thought as well, and Gillespie Jones was absolutely fantastic as well in the middle, and they were just firing all cylinders that quarter.
What a great luxury to have Garner and Gillespie Jones that can sort of swap positions every now and then, and Carlton will have to get going pretty quickly in this second quarter to be any chance.
Sard got the tap down this time. Gillespie Jones in the middle once again. Tries to get it back to Sard. Gillespie Jones doing a bit of ruck work for the team early on in the season. Moved around a few different positions, but in the midfield, as we mentioned, rotating with Jasmine Garner up in the forward line for today's game. Should mention half-time around the grounds. It is Essendon 4-4-28, leading Williamstown yet to score. So it was against the breeze during that term for Williamstown, but dominant performance by Essendon in that quarter, and Essendon was up by a goal at quarter time. So we'll keep you up to date with the scores as Press Parkers goes out wide. They go up towards half forward. Newton takes the mark. So just announces a VFL W under-18 All-Australian during the week. A number of the All-Australians playing in round 12 action, which is great for the fans of women's football to be able to see these players prior to the draft in October. Lucy McAvoy, the country MVP and the All-Australian captain, taken to the field for Geelong today up against Darebin. Molly McDonald having her second game for the Southern Saints tomorrow down at Wilson Storey Trevor Barker Beach Oval. And a number of them, as we mentioned, going around in Sophie Moland will take to the field for the Western Bulldogs later today at Mars Stadium, taking on NT Thunder as the Blues inside forward 50. Here's a chance for them. They go goal with Downey round the corner. Can't snare the first major for the Blues, and another behind on the board. They are 2 behinds, 2 points. Melbourne Uni 5-3-33.
Got to make every opportunity a winner, the Blues, when they've got it in their attacking 50, and right now they're struggling to do that.
Duffin brings the ball back to this broadcast side wing. Ashmore in the front spot. Battling hard, trying to get her hands on the football, so too Plain. Trying to push the ball forward. Hosking v Bruton. Hosking taken to the ground. Great work, Loins. Tries to dribble it around the corner. She'll get it back if she gets it to her boot. She can't do so. Riddell helped Uni get the ball back. This Trend kicks long. Here's another opportunity for Downey. Long towards goal. Can't get into the front spot with Cubash. Now clearing kick by Uni. They bring it out to the outer side wing. Vesio in the front spot. Uni pick up the ball. They go up towards centre half forward. No one inside forward 50. Comes to ground level. Good work by Bateman. Back into the team for the first time this season. And yeah, Melbourne Uni debut. Oh, great tackle by Vesio on the outer side. And Vesio will be rewarded.
Looking much better in the first minute or two here, Carlton. But hopefully get the first goal up very shortly as well.
Chloe Dalton on the outer side. Tries to get it inside forward 50 once again. Duffin could have given away the free kick. I didn't think so. Bruton. Handball outside 50. Now here's a chance for Uni. No free kick given. Good work by the Blues, holding it in their forward half, and certainly what they weren't able to do during that first quarter, they do so now. Press Barkers, long sweeping kick towards the goal square. Back in the last line is Moore, under plenty of pressure now. Here's a chance for the Blues. They've got the numbers round the corner, and offline once again. So behind going the way of Gurr, and we will see Another behind on the board for Carlton. 3 behinds, 3 points. Melbourne Uni 5-3-33. That, of course, on the Choose Tap scoreboard as a 50-metre penalty.
They've definitely had most of the action in this second quarter, Carlton, but just haven't been able to convert a major.
Duffin goes in towards the middle. Trend juggling mark in the middle. Looks further afield. Plenty of options. Garner gives a long lead. Plays on now. Inside forward 50. Bounce will be crucial. Right leading back in for the race for the Blues. Plenty of pressure from Gillespie Jones. Good work by the Blues defence once again. Quelling almost a certain opportunity there for Melbourne Uni. High up and under kick. 2-on-1. Loins in the middle. Couldn't take the mark. Bruton tackled as she kicked. It goes towards the boundary. King leading in the race for it. Taken over the line as head knock between the two players. Both feeling the effects of the ball. Great work by the Blues to see the ball over the line. Good work that time by Prinz. Boundary throw in. Downey gets the tap. Free kick will go her way. Dominant performance in her first game back. Kicks along the broadcast side wing.
King's coming off for Melbourne Uni after that head knock, so hopefully she's all right.
Newton round the corner. Into open space. Ebb leading in the race for the football. Takes on Vesio. Gets around another. Goes their full quota. Kicks up towards half forward and finds Gillespie Jones. Gillespie Jones with the ball now. Long inside forward 50. Searching kick. Good mark at the back of the pack. And it taken by Wright.
Looking a lot better, Carlton, now when they're under the pump. The defence is holding up, but Melbourne Uni just playing some really good football at the present minute. Here we go.
Riddle onto Runnels, onto Ashmore, long to the goal square, right again in the front spot. Got the ball, the Blues clear, leading in the race for the football though. Cox on the outer side. Good work by the Blues. Vesio on the half back line, centering kick. They've got the numbers. Newton now plays on quickly, finds her target. Loins up against Duffin. Great defensive work. Ashmore now at ground level. Curls it round the corner to forward 50. Oh, bounce eludes her teammate in Lynch. In for her first game in Melbourne Uni colours. Umpire says, give the ball to me. We will have a ball up.
Very optimistic. They're trying to get a free kick there. Melbourne Uni player appealing for a free, but no prior opportunity there.
No, Sard in the ruck. Good tap down. Comes down to Whitford. Working hard. Prasparkas over the top. Ball held up and we'll have a ball up. 45 metres out from the Melbourne Uni goal.
Fantastic tackle there by Prasparkas for Carlton.
So Maddie Prasparkas, great work in the middle as they kick inside forward 50 again. Can't take the mark. It was Lynch. Now Gillespie Jones from the pocket. Centering kick. But good work by the Blues on the last line. As Mia Clifford goes out wide. Plain will work with Vesio. No, likes to kick it along the outer side, leading in the race for the football's Ebb. So Melbourne Uni will go forward once again. They kick it up towards centre half forward. Downey, great work, and holds the ball up for Carlton at half back.
Looking a lot better right now. The Blues are holding up better in defence and making Melbourne work a little bit harder when they're going into attack.
So Bromwich goes out wide. Carlton just slowing things down, finding their targets, working well for them. They go inside and find Jess Hosking. Hosking up towards centre half forward now. Plenty of flyers, no one coming down with the football. Garner at the back. Working hard for the footy. Over the ball. Ball comes out. Riddell goes out along the outer side wing. Bromwich leading in the race again for the Blues. 2-on-2 contest on the outer side. Bromwich fighting hard for the footy. Holds it up. Great work by the Carlton defence to hold up another attack by Melbourne Uni.
Carlton have controlled this quarter, but they just haven't affected the scoreboard. They've only kicked the 2 points for this quarter. They probably should be on more for the amount of ball they've had.
Vesio, a kick off the body of another opponent. as through the middle. Bromwich up towards centre half forward. Bounce will be crucial here. Favouring Melbourne Uni at this stage as they bring the ball out along this towards the broadcast side wing. That was more in the front spot. Piling on the football. No one able to extract it just yet. The Blues. Almost a handball and hope on that occasion. Garner, great work. Free kick has been given against Gutnick for a just driving her opponent into the ground.
I think the momentum there, just Gutnick just landed on top of her opponent there. It's unfortunate, but it is there.
Angelis goes inside forward 50. Bounce eludes Gillespie Jones. Ashmore now a chance. Bromwich. She's been good over the last couple of minutes. Her defensive pressure and tackling has really held up the forays forward for Melbourne Uni. Another opportunity for Uni now. Gillespie Jones will take on Cubash. High up and under kick. Riddell Ashmore sitting right under it. Now a chance to bring up her third goal of the game. Has been lively in that forward 50.
Yeah, she's been presenting herself, and she's had many opportunities. 2 goals won so far today. Hopefully for the Melbourne Uni faithful, this will be 3 goals won.
Kicks long and direct, and that's nothing like her first kick for the goal today. Kicks her third goal, and third goal of the season as well. And that gives Melbourne Uni their 6th goal of the day. 6-3-39. They lead Carlton 3 behinds at 3 points. That, of course, on the Choose Tap scoreboard. 10.5 minutes gone, second term.
Very disappointing result for Carlton. They've had a lot of the ball this quarter, and they've only kicked 2 points. And then Melbourne Uni have now kicked 6 goals, 3. Already got a higher score than what they got the entire game last week at Morwell, where they kicked 5-6-36. But how have you seen it, Brad?
Yeah, Carlton just hasn't made use of what they had with the ball. I reckon they controlled that first 10 minutes, but Melbourne Uni, just that quick goal, I think that might turn the tide of the game for this quarter.
It's a ball back in the middle. Sard got the tap down. Gutnick tried to burst her way through, but taken now by Whitford. Garner. They go backwards to go forwards. Trend up towards half forward, but right. In the perfect position, takes the mark against Gillespie Jones. Short chip kick, finds her teammate in Dalton. Getting a fair bit of the football during this second term. This is probably the kick going up towards centre half forward that's let them down as they go inside forward 50 again. And the kick cut off at half back by them on the half back line. Will look to go across goal. She does so now. Dangerous kick, needs it to come off. It does. Runnels brings it down towards Angelis. Moore back to Angelis. Over the top to Runnels, working well off the wing during this second term. Puts Bruton under a bit of pressure. Ray Clifford finding her and seeing the ball over the line will have a boundary throw in.
A couple of former Sharkies coming, clashing there. So Mia Ray's been impressive for Carlton. A little bit quiet today, but played well so far for Carlton this season.
Boundary throw in. Good punch by Cubash up towards half forward. Ball held up. Newton tackling her opponent in more to the ground, and we'll see a ball up 55 metres out from the Carlton goal.
You mentioned earlier, Anthony, about Newton. She's been fantastic this game. I thought her attacking pressure has been really fantastic.
So ball still at that half forward mark. Anthony Stangetts, Brad Mullins and Peter Lausch with you here on VFL.com.au. And simulcast through SEN2 Digital. So good afternoon to our watchers around Australia and around the world. Just a reminder, one of 2 video stream games today, North Melbourne versus the Northern Blues, coming up from 2 o'clock. Also on the VFL website is Ashmore. Marks strongly through the middle of Arden Street Oval. Angelis leading in the race for the football, grabs the footy, great work, handballs back to Bruton, under pressure, got a kick away in the end. Trend coming through from that half back line, got the handball away, kicking towards the middle. That was from Whitford, being good during this term. Garner, centering kick, straight down the middle to Saxon Jones, strong mark, and will line up for her first VFL goal in her first VFL game.
That was a fantastic kick by Whitford there. She didn't look down. She looked inboard, and there was 3 Melbourne Uni players. She hit one of them, and an easy kick to the fat side of the ground for a great mark.
A lot of their big names involved there as well. Bruton, Whitford and Garner. Let's see if she gets her...
So goes long towards goal. That shows her capabilities. 6 goals in NAB League girls this season. Just 17 years old. Will be one of the names you would think will be selected come draft time in October as the team celebrates with her first goal in Melbourne Uni colours. And just gives them another option up forward, Melbourne Uni, when you, thought they had plenty of options already. But Melbourne Uni 7-3-45 lead at Carlton at 3 behind 3 points on the Choose Tap scoreboard.
Absolute shellacking right now. They've been so impressive, Melbourne Uni. If I was Shannon McFerrin, the Carlton coach, I wouldn't know what to do here right now. So how to stem the flow.
Just getting it out of the middle and kicking it to the open leads in forward 50.
So clean.
Saxon Jones lining up at full forward today in her first game in the VFL. Here's better work out of the middle by the Blues. Hosking and Loynes combining. Now they get it on to Kubash. Long towards goal. Can they get their first on the board?
Mark.
They're a chance now with Downey taking the mark directly in front. And something that had been eluding them, those centre clearances in the game so far. And loading up in the middle with Loynes and Hosking. Downey to full forward. And in her first game of the season, makes no mistakes. So the drought has finally broken for the Blues. They kick their first. They are 1-3-9, trailing Melbourne Uni 7-3-45, having just about to tick over the 16-minute mark of this second term here on VFL.com.au.
That would bring a smile to the faces of the Carlton supporters that are here at Arden Street today. Hopefully Carlton can kick another 1 or 2 in the next 3 or 4 minutes just to sort of give himself a sniff and only be about, say, 4 to 4.5 goals behind at half-time.
Yeah, making that change with Kubash going into the ruck. And they've loaded up in the midfield with Loynes, Hosking and also Pressparkas. So let's see what they can do from this centre clearance. Downey to full forward. Kubash again with the tap down. But again, the fierce tackling pressure in the middle of the ground. That's what Loynes and Hosking are known for. With Sarah Hosking averaging 5 tackles a game this far in this season in VFL Women's. Pressparkas now good. Kick out of the middle. The torpedo up towards centre half forward. Here's a chance again for the Blues. Just as they try to enter their forward 50.
Last few minutes of support running by Carlton's looked a lot better as well. And hopefully when they go forward and the tools go up, the Crummers are there just to get an easy kick and kick a goal for them.
So Hosking now. Kick smothered. Abertangelo. Good work by Duffin. Gets the ball to the broadcast side wing. And Ashmore, wow, been amongst their best today. That's a 50-metre penalty. Wasn't off the line. So it goes against McKay. And Ashmore, she won't be within scoring distance, but she'll give it off fairly quickly, looking for Saxon Jones. Tries to evade the tackler. Good defensive work that time. Mia Ray Clifford. Talking a player with plenty of experience.
Quality defender, Mia Ray Clifford, and it's always hard to get around Mia Ray Clifford.
It is. She brings the ball back along this broadcast side wing. Pressparkas in the front spot, takes the mark, plays on quickly. Better work by the Blues. Good work by Sard cutting in. Bruton, handball over the top. Another disposal for Ashmore. Goes inside forward, 50 off the hands of Abertangelo. Couldn't get her hands on it. Was Gillespie Jones. Hosking, good work. Woods now. High up and under kick. Sard couldn't take it. Bruton again, another disposal. Inside forward 50 looking for targets once again. No mark paid. Abertangelo couldn't take it. Hosking over the top. Gets the run of right. Bounce didn't help her out. Abertangelo again got her handball away. Finds Duffin. Duffin long to the goal square. Mia Clifford in the front spot. She'll elects not to take it through. Gets her kick away and finds a teammate in Jess Hosking.
Fantastic work there by Duffin. She kicked that probably 55. Almost got a cheap goal then.
So they kick the ball up to Downey at half back. Downey elects to go wide. finding the options. Long through the middle of Arden Street Oval. Ball held up. Umpire will come in and we'll have a ball up.
Just hoping Alicia King, number 4 for Melbourne Uni, is all right. She hasn't reappeared after that head clash early in this quarter, so we'll keep an eye on that over the halftime break as well.
So tapped down by Downey, out the back to Pressparkis. Her kick is intercepted, and Melbourne Uni again. Chance to go forward. Walsh up towards half forward. Looking for Gillespie Jones, leading the competition in marks this season. That shows why. Using her height once again inside forward 50. Ball, Hosking trying to burst her way through. Held up by Duffin. And ball the call. Didn't attempt to get rid of it. And Jess Duffin will be rewarded.
Fantastic work there by Jess Duffin not to give up on that contest. And it was a great tackle that just didn't get rid of the ball. And great call there by the umpire.
It's taken about just half a quarter, but all the big names in the last 10 minutes, Duffin, Bruton and Ashmore have played a big part in the last 10 minutes of this quarter.
So for the time that Carlton has had the ball, this would be devastating for them to see another goal sail through as it does. And another one on the board for Melbourne Uni to finish the first half. And that has been a dominant first half of football by Melbourne Uni. 8-3-51. They lead Carlton 1-3-9. Peter Lausch, run us through the goal kickers till half-time.
The goal kickers up till half-time for Melbourne Uni. Gillespie Jones has got a single. Ashmore has got 3 goals. Saxon Jones, Garner, Duffin and Angelis, 1 goal each. And the solitary goal kicker for Carlton is Alison Downey. So a better quarter by Melbourne Carlton there. They've kicked a goal and also restricted Melbourne Uni just to three goals there, but a lot of work for Carlton at this halftime break.
That goal by Duffin late was not what Carlton needed after the hard work they did in that first 10 minutes to get back into that game. They conceded 3 goals pretty late, and they won't be happy with that, but I think that they've got to be pretty happy with that first 10 minutes of that game, although they didn't get the scores on the board.
Yeah, plenty for Carlton to work on. They started to get those centre clearances with the changes to their midfield structure late in that term, just quelling the influence of Melbourne Uni as our video stream watchers see again the first goal in the VFL for Saxon Jones, the Western Jet from the NAB League Girls competition. And that is all clear on the scoreboard from the umpires as well. It is Melbourne Uni 8-3-51 to Carlton 1-3-9. We'll look quickly at the around the ground scores. And just an update, we're being told there's a Mark of the Year candidate at Williamstown, but it's all Essendon at halftime. It was 4-4-28 to Williamstown, yet to score. In the other game between Darebin and Geelong, and we'll get you an update score on that game very shortly, but it was a 1-goal lead to Darebin in that clash last time we looked. Scores are level, 2-1-13 apiece, so good work for Geelong getting back into that contest, kicking the 2 replies to Darebin's first 2 goals of the game, so 2-1-13 apiece. That game all tied up as they start the third quarter.
Just looking at this ladder, Melbourne Uni's already got a very healthy percentage, and they've got a big lead here at half time. Should results, Hawthorn have got the bye this week, so a Melbourne Uni win would put them definitely against Hawthorn. But should the NT Thunder and Collingwood, NT Thunder beat Western Bulldogs and Collingwood beat Richmond, Melbourne Uni could find themselves in third position this evening. So
it's an amazing effort for Melbourne Uni from where they were probably a month ago. We probably thought they were, not looking like they were even going to make the top 6, but they've really peaked in the last probably 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think this game has just go to show what they're capable of when they're on form, and it's a great time to be peaking, as we know. You're not far out from the finals now, and it's a good time to just make that top 6. As we know, it's a top 6 issue, not a top 4.
Yeah, 42 points the margin at half-time. We're going to take a look back at the SEN show from Tuesday night. On the show on Tuesday night, we had NT Thunder's Jordan Hickey, a new Gold Coast AFLW recruit, She spoke to us on the show. We're going to have a listen to that interview, and then we'll be back for a big second half of Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 12 action right after this break here on SEN2 and VFL.com.au.
But very exciting times when it comes to VFL W and AFL W. Our VFL W update is all thanks to Victoria Police. They're now recruiting, so apply now. Jordan Hickey is a fantastic story, Anthony Stangert. So was an inaugural player for the VFL W season for the NT Thunder, recruited to Melbourne for this season of AFL W, didn't get to play a game, but has now been pre-listed by the Gold Coast Suns for their inaugural AFL W season. Played the 8 games this year, played in Alice Springs on the weekend in their 65-point loss, if you don't mind. So she's been good enough to join us after a big loss. She had a pretty good game herself, though. Jordan Hickey's been very generous in giving us some time on the VFL Hour. Thank you, Jordan. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Welcome to the program. What was it like getting to play for NT Thunder in the Alice on the weekend?
Yeah, it's definitely my favourite game of the season. We had it last year as well. It's awesome to get the family and support that you have from your local town down supporting you. It was very disappointing, though, how the game turned out, but nonetheless, they were there still supporting us until the final siren.
There probably wouldn't be too many opportunities for them to come to games unless they're willing to travel a fair bit, especially with the VFL season.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I think that's what draws the big crowd, because we have such a good support base here, and knowing that they don't get the opportunity to go and watch us play at that higher level, that they all come out for that one game, which is awesome.
The games up in NT, what's it like seeing the fly-in players each week and the whole squad come together at different times when you do play up in the Northern Territory?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty hard, I guess, having the 3 training bases for us. But I think when that's what makes it so exciting when we do get together, knowing it's game week and game day, is that you get to see all your teammates again that you haven't seen all week. So I think it makes it even more exciting for when you go to play.
And for many people watching your progress, they'd know that you'd been drafted into AFLW as a forward and a goal kicker. They'd look at the stats this year and they'd see only the 2 goals for your good self. But a bit of a change of role this season at NT Thunder for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I do like kicking goals, but yeah, starting to learn a bit of the midfield. So getting to play through there and also a high half forward role more than just in the pocket. But the last 2 games I've ended up playing in the back line, which I've been loving.
So, Jordan, as I said earlier, you weren't able to get on the park and debut for Melbourne, but you've got over the disappointment of that and you've been pre-listed by the Gold Coast for the AFLW 2020 season. What role do you expect to play for them, and are you excited about being able to spend some time on the glitter strip?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to head over there and get stuck into it. I think as a role purpose, I think I'll probably be used as a utility. I think Lakey, the coach, is pretty keen to have us all pretty versatile as to where we play. So that's what's exciting, and that's what's given me the opportunity with Thunder is having to have a run in the midfield, and which I've never thought of doing. Always felt a bit lost in there, but yeah, it's been awesome to try learn it and yeah, just keep running through it and learning what I can.
Jordan, what are some of the things that you have learnt over the season so far in those changing roles with NT Thunder?
A lot of it not to stress over what goes on, just play footy really. You're out there just playing footy in the long term of a thing, so yeah, not to overthink it and just play footy, and if your skills are up to it, I think you could play anywhere on the ground.
Jordan, what do you do with yourself when you're not playing footy? This is the part that it often really fascinates me, and I think that we need to continue to shine a light on, that when you are going to be playing for the Gold Coast Suns next year, you'll probably have to have a job too, because it's a semi-professional sport at the moment, and most of the girls have Monday to Friday jobs that they're trying to balance as well as the season. So what do you think you'll be doing with yourself around the Gold Coast at that time?
I'll probably get some work with AFL Queensland and the game development section. That's where I'm really keen on working in, and I've done a bit of that through the NT as well. But yeah, just getting my hands on doing a bit more of that. But I'm also doing a bit of study, so doing my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness, so hopefully get into that position of job too.
And Jordan, it's certainly with the fixture, we're sending you all over the place. You've been playing up in Darwin, playing in Alice, and you get to head off to Mars Stadium in Ballarat now.
Yeah, I think that's very exciting. I've been there once, I think, as a kid, through sport as well. But yeah, to head there and play footy, it's going to be a pretty awesome opportunity. Just like Casey got to come up to Alice Springs, which is pretty amazing opportunity for them. It's a good opportunity for girls from the NT who probably never been there or never heard of Ballarat. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And John, I don't know whether you've had a chance to interact with the opposition VFL teams that have come up there, but I think it's been great to see on social media and across their channels their involvement with the local communities, and a number of those teams have spent like the next week or leading up to it or after the game and actually spending time in the local communities. It must be great to see, and great for the communities up there to have kind of VFL and AFL listed players coming out, taking clinics and being part of it.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's great to see that they're taking the time to do that, and it's more than football, and it really reaches out to the broader community, and they love it. Like, people in NT, they thrive off football, so when they get that opportunity to see women and men playing the high level of football, it also inspires them and shows them that they can do it as well, and yeah, they get little fan clubs, that's for sure.
Jordan, it's been great chatting to you. Jordan Hickey from the NT Thunder is pre-listed by the Gold Coast for the AFL W season. Enjoy your time at the Gold Coast. I do know David Lake and I do know Sam Virgo and Leah Kasler very well, so you're in good hands there. They're a good bunch, and it's exciting times for the AFL W and for the Gold Coast. So congratulations on your pre-listing. Just don't get in one-on-one contests with Leah Kasler at training. You'll be battered and bruised. Just stay well away.
Yeah, no, thank you. Good advice.
There she is, Jordan Hickey, doing some very, very nice work with the NT Thunder.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yes! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your hard yakka totally workwear VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Streaming live.
Welcome back to Arden Street Oval, about to start the second half, and Melbourne Uni a dominant first half, 8-3-51. They lead Carlton 1-3-9. Looking at the around the ground scores, and it is Essendon 4-4-28 leading Williamstown, who have just kicked their first goal through Mo Hope, 1 goal straight, 6. And Darebin 3-3-21, they lead Geelong 3-1-19, that game in the third term. So we'll keep you up to date with those scores from around the grounds. Be interesting to see the structure of both teams going into this second half. Jess Duffin moving into the midfield for Melbourne Uni. So I'm just wondering who's playing that halfback or quarterback role for them during this third term. We'll keep an eye on that, and around the ground scores as well. Anthony Stangetz, Brad Mullins and Peter Lausch with you for this broadcast of round 12 VFL Women's action. Upcoming games this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Western Bulldogs versus NT Thunder up at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. And 2 games on Sunday. Richmond versus Collingwood and Southern Saints versus Casey. As Carlton head towards the right of screen during this third term. Ebb off the half-back line. Shows her speed. Ashmore can't take the mark. Was one of the best for Uni during the first half with 3 first half goals. Gets back to Ebb once again. Her up and under kick into towards the middle. It'll be Downey versus Gillespie Jones. Gillespie Jones didn't give chase on that occasion. Oh, great vision. Press Barkers opens up for her. She chips it over the top to her teammate. Runs into an open goal. And the first of the second half on the board for Carlton, and great start to the second half for them. And
it's a start what they really needed, being so far behind, and fantastic turnover there, Prasparkas, and then who was the goal kicker there?
Kasser in the 21. Kasser. I'm just waiting to see if she came into that team late. So in the 21 at full forward.
Kasser.
So ball back in the middle. 2-3-15 Carlton. Melbourne Uni 8-3-51. As again McKay gets a handball to Downey, gets around her opponent, has toward Hosking, couldn't pick it up. Good work by Abertangelo. Sweeping handball by Bruton, all the major ball winners combining. Duffin inside forward 50. Good work by Ashmore creating the contest. It was also good work. I was impressed by Bromwich during that second term. Ashmore again. Here's an opportunity for it. Gives off the hands. Runnels nearly dispossessed. Ashmore kills it round the corner. With the mark taken inside defensive 50, and Ray Clifford with the mark. Next to go to the outer side. Ashmore first to meet the footy once more. Round the corner. And a good mark taken by Gurr. Long way from forward 50.
Carlton's had a great start to this first quarter so far, and if they can get another couple of quick goals, they might get a bit of credibility back in this game.
I reckon they'd have to be within 3 or 4 goals at three-quarter time to have any chance.
So the ball with Melbourne Uni. Trend off half-back. Find Riddell on the outer side. Kicks in. Back towards the corridor. Good work. Finds Walsh. Wobbling kick. More off the half-back line. Up towards centre-half forward. And good defensive work again by the Blues off half-back. Kicking towards the middle of the ground. Trend goes out to Duffin. Brings it out to this broadcast side wing. Straight up the middle of the ground. Abertangelo finds her teammate, puts her under a bit of pressure in Walsh, but Abertangelo gets back in to help out. Inside forward 50 now, ready for the Flyers. All the ground level players. And Gillespie Jones handballs onto Runnels, taken to ground, taken too high. And will receive the free kick right in front of goal.
Luckily, that was a high tackle for Reynolds, but that was a hospital handball by a teammate as well. Straight to a player that had a Carlton opponent on her, and bang.
I think she's...
I don't know about that one. I think she came in from the side because she tried to just get it down the corridor to her.
I think she was just a bit blindsided by that tackle. She didn't expect it to come from that angle, I think.
Yeah.
So, directly in front. Ailey Runnels offline to the left-hand side. Still unable to bring up her first goal of the season, but it is her first score of the season, one behind Melbourne Uni. 8-4-52, Carlton 2-3-15, 4.5 minutes gone in this third term. From the kick in, Bruton has had a dominant first half and continuing that in the third quarter.
One of many Melbourne Uni players that have been dominant. The only one that's probably been a little bit quiet is Sophie Abertangelo. Only a handful of possessions, but if they move up the ground, she might get into it as well.
Yeah, only averages 13 disposals a game this season, and probably works more on those assists further up the ground. But I think the ball winners for Melbourne Uni, you look at their numbers, and Gillespie Jones averages 22 a game, Riddell 30, even Trend off half-back, 20 disposals a game, Garner 24, Duffin 27, Jenna Bruton 23 disposals a game, and the leading disposal winner for Carlton is Pressbarkis with 23, and the rest are all in the teens. I think the two Hoskings are both around the 17 and 19 mark respectively. So it's those ball winners out of the middle of the ground that have been a highlight this season for Melbourne Uni. As Pressbarkis marks and goes long inside forward 50. Opportunity again for the Blues. Over the top, Gurr. Can she get rid of her opponent? Can't do so. Great defensive effort by Melbourne Uni. They're not too happy about the decision, but it's gone the way of Melbourne Uni. Back to Trend. Trend high and up and under kick to half back. Looking for a teammate back there in McDonald. Now, here's a chance. Pressbarkis got it round. Gurr again in the pocket. High kick to Vessio's gone, drifted down towards the full forward region. This might be the change that they need.
Darcy Vessio, she had an early shot at goal at this end, but she just fell short. You'd think she'd make the distance from this one. She's probably 15, 20 metres out on a pretty acute angle. Hopefully she goes back and kicks it and gets Carlton back in form for this third quarter.
Right-hand goalpost I'd be going for if I was Darcy.
Well,
And she's missed.
She's gone off to the left and through for one behind. So good start to the term for
I believe Melbourne
the Blues.
I believe Melbourne Uni might be one short on the bench. I didn't see Alicia King come back onto the ground after half time, so hopefully she's all right.
Abertangelo tries to go the 1-2 with Duffin. Good work to mop up Roan. Now comes to half-back Moore. Moore plays on quickly, gets round the tackler. Wobbly kicking towards the middle of the ground. Sard with the mark. It's serviceable today, Sard, in the ruck. Till then, when she kicked to her opposing ruck in Downey. Downey long inside forward 50 and Pressbarkis. Well within scoring distance, Maddie Pressbarkis.
She's got a big kick, Maddie, and I think you should go. Oh, she's passed it off.
She has now, and she's found Sarah Hosking.
That was well done by Hosking, just to sneak down there and sort of be unnoticed by the Melbourne Uni defence. So, and well done by Pressbarkis for not just blazing away there as well.
Made it more of an acute angle, but closer to goal. Sarah Hosking looking for her third goal of the season as she snuck it in. No, just off to the right-hand side, through for one behind. So hitting the scoreboard, just not with accuracy at the moment. The Blues still trail in this match, adding another two behinds this term from the kick-in. Abertangelo.
Good mark.
She must have heard your précis of her first half, Pete Lausch, because she's picked up a couple of disposals, picks up another one off the half-back line.
That's good to see. Good to see, Sophie.
So, off the half-back line, Melbourne Uni now mounting an attack. Bromwich v Ashmore. Bromwich, great work by Ashmore with the tackle. Hard by Casa. Now comes out to the back of the pack. They go forward. That's through Cox. Inside forward 50.
Mark.
Saxon Jones has been paid the mark. And we'll go back to see whether she can kick her second goal of the afternoon. Vesio coming to the bench for a break. Placed by Marnie Jarvis. Cleo Saxon Jones from the Western Jets in the NAB League Girls competition. As we mentioned, 6 games this season. 17 years old, 181 centimetres tall. So an imposing target inside forward 50, goes back and has kicked it.
Fantastic.
Gets above the outreached hands of Wright on the last line. And Saxon Jones has her second of the day. And, ninth on the board for Melbourne Uni, 9-4-58. They lead Carlton, who are 2-5-17 and 10 minutes gone, halfway through this third quarter of round 12 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's action here at Arden Street Oval.
That was a fantastic goal by Cleo Saxon-Jones. She probably kicked it about 10 metres short of the man on the mark, and I thought it was going to fall short, but it was probably a 40-metre kick, so fantastic kick there by Cleo. Only 17, bright future, definitely for her at AFL W possibly and VFL W level.
Probably a fair few recruiters spying as we are at this game this afternoon.
Certainly are, as the ball taken out of the middle. Garner, good pick up out of the middle. Almost held on to it for too long, but just got it away. Abertangelo again, inside forward 50, looking for Gillespie Jones. What a 1-2 punch. Saxon Jones and Gillespie Jones up in the forward line. So the double hyphen causing havoc to the Blues defence. And Kate Gillespie Jones has kicked 5 goals this season. 6 goals, I should say, this season. Doesn't add her 7th. Had 5 prior to today and kicked a first quarter goal. Through for another behind.
Very similar this third quarter. Carlton worked really hard the first 10 minutes for very little reward. Melbourne Uni the last couple of minutes have sort of kicked the goal. Obviously just missed one there, but are doing really well in keeping that sort of 6-goal gap what they had at half time.
So 9-5-59 to 2-5-17. Melbourne Uni leading Carlton on the Tuesday scoreboard. All held up in the middle of Arden Street Oval. Big double header of action today from Arden Street Oval. If you're a Blues or Kangaroos supporter, we've got that game coming up for VFL Hard Yakka Totally Workwear round 17 action as Ashmore goes long towards the goal square. Sexton Jones couldn't take it. Hosking back. Wobbly kick, Runnels. 2-on-1 contest. Up against another Hosking as Runnels. Oh, great work. Gets it off onto Abertangelo. Centering kick. Couldn't find her target. Couldn't mark it. Ball being fought for. Good work by the Blues defence in the back the call. And it being rewarded. Abby McKay. So off the half back line. The team trails by 42 points. Garner couldn't take it. Newton at the back. Working hard loins along this broadcast side wing. Looking for Press-Barkas. Oh, great reading of the ball by Press-Barkas. Gave it to her teammate. Was under pressure. Throw the call. Jess Trend will be rewarded. So off the half back line. Bring along this broadcast side wing. Misdirected kick. They go inside through McKay once again. Bouncing football. Will it stop and open up for Plain? She can't keep it in. Good pressure that time by Julian for Melbourne Uni. And we'll see the goal umpire in a frozen pose there. Holding the ball out ready for the boundary umpire to arrive. And she'll bring the ball back into play now.
We'll see what the Blues can manage here.
So 13 minutes gone in this third quarter. Trent and Ashmore heaping on the pressure, and we'll have another ball up.
It's been a pretty seesawing game, this game, especially from a Carlton's perspective. They've had 10 minutes of really good footy, but besides that, they haven't really been in the game at all.
Essendon 4-5-29 leading Williamstown 1-1-7 around the ground scores. I'll take a quick look at Darebin versus Geelong. And Darebin 3-3-21 lead Geelong 3-1-19. That's in the third quarter now. So Garner brings the ball out to this broadcast side wing again. Walsh gets round the tackler. Ashmore. Oh, good.
Good work.
Stood up to the tackle. Gets it off to Trent. Under pressure from Newton. Bruton on to Sard. Got it to her boot. Now, chance for Bromwich. Goes out wide. Finds Gurr. Has a chance to play on. Will get round her opponent. Goes long to full forward. Needs an option. Press-Barkas got it off that time. Mason. Now a chance. Ebb held up. Good pressure by the Blues forwards. Plain. Now stolen. Kicks round the corner and goal. Great reward for Carlton in their forward 50. Had heaped on the pressure. Made the turnover happen. And Nat Plain kicks her first of the afternoon, the third for Carlton, and they move on to 3-5-23. Melbourne Uni 9-5-59. 15 minutes gone, third term, here on VFL.com.au. Brad.
That was a fantastic goal there by Natalie Plain around a snap kick, banana, and it just cleared the goal umpire's head for a fantastic goal, and much needed for Carlton. They needed that just to stem the tide and hopefully they can maybe get the next one just to get a bit of credibility back and get it probably back within probably 25 points.
If they have this within 3 or 4 goals at three-quarter time, they're a show. The momentum.
You never know. You never know. Footy's a wonderful game.
So out of the middle, here they come. Hosking over the top. Vesio will look for a target. Goes straight down the corridor. Off the hands that time. Mundy couldn't take it. Uni under plenty of pressure once again. McKay got the kick. Newton, can she land her first goal in the VFL? She does. 2 in a row for the Blues. You can see them celebrating. And here comes the Blues. Gabby Newton, her first goal in Carlton colours. And the 4th goal on the board for Carlton 4-5-29, cuts the margin to 30 points. Melbourne Uni 9-5-59, and it's that ball movement out of the middle, Peter Lausch.
Yeah, a lot cleaner and faster, and they're actually lowering the eyes and looking for targets up forward this quarter. Definitely outplayed Melbourne Uni this quarter. 5 goals the difference. If they can, in the last couple of minutes of this quarter, get another one, sneak another one, I reckon it's game on.
Ball back in the middle. Change in the ruck as well. Hosking gets the possession. Can't get a clean disposal, which he'll pick up the free kick for our hard work at ground level. Got the options up towards forward 50. Prespakis gave the lead. Good work by Trent. Got it off to her teammate.
Ooh.
Cox and Riddell working hard for the footy. And what's the umpire called? No, he's going to bring Riddell back. So Ash Riddell looked at Gillespie Jones, but then decides to go to her teammate in Bruton. Might almost go back to Riddell. Too late for that move. Now high wobbly kick comes to the back of the pack, opens up, and Jealous. Now great work. That was Bateman. They get it back to go forward. Now looking for Duffin. Good body work on her opponent in Hosking. Gillespie Jones that help out. Oh, look at this kick towards goal by Riddell. She was in the middle of the ground only moments ago, but misses. Another behind on the board for her name this season. And another one on the board, Melbourne Uni, 9-6-60 to 4-5-29, the Blues.
Very lucky there, Carlton, because they've done a lot of hard work, and just to have a goal kick this late in the third quarter would have really hurt.
Yeah, great vision from the kicking to find Loins. Gillespie Jones, though, keeps the ball out in front of herself. Tackled, no free kick. You can hear the fans calling for it below our broadcast position. Abatangelo round the corner, finds her target directly in front. And Angelis takes the mark and will look to go back and see whether she can put through her 9th goal of the 2019 season.
Abatangelo's impressed me in the third quarter. She's lifted, got a lot more of the ball, and here we go, and sprayed.
And has put it through. So
Angela's second goal.
Correct. Has kicked her 9th goal of the season. She's number 1 for score assists in the competition this year, but also proving that she's a pretty handy goal scorer up forward for Melbourne Uni as well. 10th goal on the board, 10-6-66. Carlton 4-5-29. That on the Choose Tap scoreboard, and that's probably Brad Mullins' last score of this third term.
Yeah, I think the siren will beat any more score. I just want to mention Ash Riddell. She's been fantastic this game, and essentially this quarter as well. She's had a lot of the ball, and I think she's probably been one of Melbourne Uni's best so far.
Ball back in the middle. As you mentioned her, she picks up another handball. Gets it onto Bruton. I think the two will be having a competition for most disposals on the ground today. Gillespie Jones couldn't take that one. She couldn't add to her tally for season as the number 1 marker in the comp. But what a quarter it was. We ended up seeing the 5 goals for the term. And Carlton, despite dominating for the first half of the competition, couldn't stop Melbourne Uni from the replies. And it is 10-6-66 Melbourne Uni. They lead Carlton 4-5-29. Peter Lausch, run us through the goal kickers to three-quarter time.
The goal kickers for the Melbourne Uni, Ashmore has got 3 goals, and Saxon Jones and Angelas 2 goals, and singles to Duffin, Garner and Gillespie Jones. And the goal kickers for Carlton, all singles, Newton, Downey and Plains. A much better quarter there by Carlton. Unfortunately, couldn't hit the scoreboard more often with a few more 6-pointers, but 37 points down at three-quarter time. I think they'll be playing for respect in the last quarter. If they can sort of get that down to, say, a 3-goal loss or something at the end of the day, they'd be pretty happy considering they had a very slow start or a very slow first half.
No doubt, actually, you're spot on, and I think if they can get it back to within probably 4 goals. Anthony, it looks like there might be an upset brewing at Preston City Oval. Darebin Falcons are 2 points ahead of Geelong Cats. If Darebin get the win there, that's a massive win for Darebin because, as we know, they've been pretty quiet this year. They're all reigning VFL W premiers and VFL W and former VFL, the Victoria Women's Competition. They were a very good side. So,
well, I can give you an update on that score now. It's 6 minutes remaining. Darebin 6-4-40, Geelong 4-1-25. So we'll keep you updated on that scoreline.
How great would it be if the Falcons won? Lauren Arnell playing a 200th game for Darebin, or is it the 200th?
No, 200th senior game. That includes rep games and ones at Darebin. Southern Saints, so VWFL and VFL matches. So
Southern Saints, Carlton in the VFL W. She played a handful here at Carlton as well. So it's...
Well, let's take a break here at Arden Street Oval. 1 quarter to go. What can the Blues do? Or will it be Melbourne Uni running away with this one and consolidating their spot in the top 6? We'll take a break here on VFL.com.au and be back right after this.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Welcome back to Arden Street Oval, and big final term of action coming up. Stay tuned also if you're wanting to get a bit more of a look at football on the VFL website today. We've got North Melbourne versus the Northern Blues coming up after 2 o'clock. So we'll stick with the SEN2 broadcast, but for our video stream watchers, they'll need to go across to another broadcast. And great news, Majak Dor playing his first full game of the season, and I saw our own Peter Lausch taking a bit of a selfie with Majak a bit earlier downstairs.
Yeah, no, Majak seemed in good spirits. Was just having a chat. Said he's just trying to get through as much game time as possible today, whether that be 3/4 or a whole game. The time will only tell. And it's great to see Majak back, and hopefully before the year's out he might get 1 or 2 games at AFL level as well.
Yeah, it's great to see. It's one of my favourite stories of the year to see Majak back playing footy. It's fantastic.
Brad, your thoughts going into this final term? What do the Blues need to do?
I think they just need to stem the tide, and if they can kick 2 goals to Melbourne Uni's 1, I'd say that'd be right with that. They just want to outscore Melbourne Uni this quarter, I think, to finish off the game pretty well.
Respectability this quarter, yeah.
Let's see what they can do. Melbourne Uni to the right of screen during this term. Stolen out of the middle and pushed forward by the Blues. Trend has been good today. Walsh gets it onto Sard, has done the ruck duties gallantly today for Melbourne Uni. Good work in the middle. Bromwich just holding the ball up. And Ashmore. It's been a great little battle over the last probably quarter. I think Bromwich has moved on to Ashmore since she had that 3-goal first half. Garner been lively today. Gillespie Jones thought she might have held on to it for a second too long. She didn't. Riddell onto Garner. Long to Saxon Jones. What can she do? Taking on Mireille Clifford. Abertangelo. Well, they surround her. They dispossess her. The ball heads towards the boundary line. Kept in play. And taking it over the line, that was Chloe Dalton with a strong tackle on Gillespie Jones. And we will have a boundary throw-in inside the forward 50 arc for Melbourne Uni. Kicking to the right of screen during this term. I'll keep you updated with around-the-ground scores as well. Darebin a couple of goals up on Geelong. And Essendon. Riddell round the corner. Punched through that time by Gemma Wright. And a behind on the board for Melbourne Uni. 10-7-67. They lead Carlton 4-5-29. Western Bulldogs taking on NT Thunder this afternoon at Ballarat. So check the VFL app for all score updates from that game. Assad, her handball too slick for Trend. 45 metres out from goal for Melbourne Uni. Sweeping handball, finds Loynes. She put down the shoulder and was going to barrage her way through. They try to do the same again. Downey this time. Tries to get it out to Dalton. Enjoyed her game today. Kicks down the centre of the ground and finds Duffin in that defensive role that we've become accustomed to her in that Melbourne Uni jumper this year. Long bomb to full forward. Someone has taken it, and Jealous, I think, has come up with the football. Let's just see when she gets up from the bottom of the back. I think it is. Yes, it is. Marked in the... Well, she's probably almost the smallest one in that pack.
I'm glad the umpire could work out who took that, because I had no idea who had it there.
So Katie Angelis to line up for her 3rd goal of the day. Moves her season into double figures. She's kicked 10 goals for Melbourne Uni this year. And a perfect start for Melbourne Uni to quell any fight back from Carlton. 11-7-73. Carlton 4-5-29. 3 minutes gone final term here on the Choose Tap scoreboard. Peter Lausch.
I hope Carlton can just fight this quarter out. I'd hate to see them get blown out by 60 or 70 points. They're 44 points down now, and they just need to sort of stem the bleeding. Brad.
You're exactly right, Peter. They just need to just stop the goals from leaking, and that's the thing is that that second quarter they did that, and they just need to get back to that position again.
Well, upset confirmed at Preston City Oval. Darebin 6-5-41 have defeated Geelong 4-1-25. So. Great result for Darebin. That is their 3rd win of the season. There's that ball in the middle of the ground. Abertangelo gets a handball out to Trend. Player taken too high. The umpire agrees, and Caitlin Cox will take the free kick. Can't get round her opponent. Gets it onto Garner. Garner round the corner, inside forward 50. Riddell has her name all over it. Play it down behind play. That's Loins, I think. We'll keep an eye on that as Melbourne Uni. Loins, well, that just is a true reflection of her hard-at-it nature. She's back up and running. I think she'll be heading towards the bench as Duffin takes the mark on this broadcast side wing. Duffin plays on now. Loins heading towards the bench. Angelis kicks backwards to go forwards. Now Gillespie Jones too far out to score. Bombs it long to the corridor looking for Saxon Jones. Couldn't find her. And Bromwich takes a good strong mark inside defensive 50. Newton pushing the back. Will take the free kick at half back.
As it sits, Melbourne Uni are 13 points off the all-time highest score for the year in the VFL W, so they might be close to breaking that record.
Who have we got sitting with that record, Brad, of the highest score this season?
Casey Demons on 85 points. So
last week?
That's
week
correct.
it's Thunder, yeah.
So Trend goes inside forward 50. Bromwich at the front spot. Ashmore taken to ground by Wright. They fight for the football, and we will have a ball up.
That Darabin win out at Preston today has moved them into third last. Again, just pushed them, replacing Carlton, and 2 games clear from the bottom. So Williamstown need to do something special for the rest of the year. Avoid the spoon.
So into Newton in the middle of the ground. Looks further afield. 50-metre penalty as well. Player just... not a big fan of this new 50-metre rule, but Newton, great vision, finds Pressparkas in the forward pocket, couldn't quite get it to her. Trend now, ball at ground level. Pressparkas, strong tackle, takes her opponent to the ground. Will she be rewarded? No. Duffin, smart football, kicked it off the ground. Now, Hosking, round the corner, inside forward 50 once again. Good work, comes to Walsh. Gets her kick away, heads towards the boundary line. Will it stay in play? Gillespie Jones versus Hosking, still in play. Now goes over the line, and we will see a boundary throw-in. Yes, we will. Boundary throw-in on the outer side.
It's been a fantastic game as well, I think, by Jenna Bruton. She's been absolutely fantastic this game, and it just goes she's into a bit of form at VFLW level. And
she's also the current North Melbourne Best and Fairest winner from their first year in the AFLW, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's right up there with the Melbourne Uni votes for their BNF in the VFL. May miss out because of less games, but...
Yeah, a few players on rotation, obviously, this year across... the VFLW season, and AFLW managed as it rules them out of games as Jarvis kicks it up towards half forward, but Gillespie Jones onto Bruton. Well, I reckon she'd be already in the 20s for disposals today, which will probably have her up towards her season average of 23. Saxon Jones, great pickup. Runnels. Saxon Jones gets it back. She kicks long now inside forward 50. Ashmore under the football. Opens it up for Abertangelo off the ground and through for a goal. Great work by Melbourne Uni, continuing to push the ball forward. They have their 12th on the board, and they move on to 12-7-79. Carlton 4-5-29 on the Choose Tap scoreboard. 8 minutes gone. Final term, Brad Mullins.
Saxon Jones, Cleo Saxon Jones, absolutely fantastic effort there. She picked up 2 disposals and she kicked it long, and they got a goal out of it. I spoke about her a little bit earlier, and I'll speak about it again. She's an absolutely fantastic player, and I think she's got a really bright future at this level.
Now, Katie Loins for Carlton came off after that bump in the middle of the ground, had a bit of work done on her neck, and he's back into the middle, which is good. Luckily, no severe injury there for her. Final
score at Essendon v Williamstown. Essendon 7-5-47 have defeated Williamstown 1-8. So a good result for Essendon in that game, winning their 4th game of the season, and back-to-back victories as well.
Must be the first time they've done that in their VFLW history, Essendon. So well done to Brendan Major and the crew out there at Windy Hill.
A great result for them as the ball Comes to Gillespie Jones now, further afield. They're working the ball well, but taken by Hosking. She wallops it, aiming for centre-half for Gillespie Jones, just ragdolls her opponent on that occasion. Pushed her into the ground and just suffering from the force. Casa getting up now, very gingerly. And free kick taken, goes inside forward 50. Working hard for the football was Julian. Tackles her opponent to the ground and we'll have a ball up. No, ball the call. So free kick will go the way of Duffin again. No, it will go the way of Julian. So 50-point margin here. 10 minutes gone, final term. And Bromwich at the back wasn't given the mark. I thought she was almost an opportunity there to take it. Thought she got first hands on it.
A little bit stiff there. Well, you know what's going to make this Melbourne Uni victory really impressive is that in the second half they've done it with one short on the bench as well because Alicia King hasn't resurfaced.
Fantastic effort by Melbourne Uni today. One of the best performances I've seen at VFL W level.
No doubt.
Bouncing ball right in front of the scoreboard here at Arden Street Oval. We must mention Arden Street Oval in superb condition today as well.
Oh, it's absolute mint.
A limited breeze. And you mentioned about some of the results and how they've affected the ladder. We look further down, Essendon having their 4th win and at Darebin their 3rd win. So both of those 2 teams in 10th and 11th spot on the ladder. And as we mentioned, Carlton dropping down to 12th spot as Runnels takes the mark directly in front. And an opportunity to open her goal scoring for the season. I think she swapped with Ashmore. Ashmore started on the wing today for Melbourne Uni, but Runnels taking over that role, and just their ability to have attacking wings has been a highlight today as she goes towards goal, through for another behind, so we're second behind of the day on the board. Can't find that first goal of the season. Unlike Caitlin Ashmore, who brought up her first goal and followed it by another 2 to have 3 for the season.
Yeah, Melbourne Uni, they're just a team that can chop and change and dangerous whatever positions the players go into. Really impressive today.
So Carlton finds Sarah Wright at half-back. Downey now with the football. Whitford on the mark. Loynes back out on the field, which is good to see. Sard over the football. Bruton, another disposal. Runnels, Trend. Fierce tackling, Monday. And we'll have a ball up right in front of our broadcast position. We've just tuned in winners so far today. Darebin have defeated Geelong. So Geelong still sitting a game outside the top 6. But Melbourne Uni's win today will see Melbourne Uni go a game clear. And Western Bulldogs taking on NT Thunder. NT Thunder will also be sitting a game outside of the top 6, and just depending whether they can get level peggings back with Melbourne Uni or not when they take on the Western Bulldogs in Ballarat. So the Blues, right, brought it down to ground level. Monday kicks up towards half forward, finds Pressbarkis. Long lead provided by Gurr. Over the top, that was from Jarvis. Now kick towards goal by Pressbarkis. They've got the numbers. They hold on. No, the umpire says wasn't a mark. Must have been touched. A ball at ground level. Plenty of players calling ball the call. Not getting their reward. We'll have a ball up directly in front of the Blues goal.
They've worked very hard, Carlton, for very little reward in the second half. Really unfortunate for them.
So off the ground, it has gone through. And I think that goal will go the way of Gurr down inside the goal square. Or keep an eye on that, but it is Melbourne Uni 12-8-80 Carlton 5-5-35. Listening live on SEN2 and also broadcasting live on VFL.com.au and the VFL app.
the gap's 45 points, and at halftime it was 42 points. So at least Carlton have been level pegging with Melbourne Uni in the second half.
They have definitely been in there. They fought their way back in this second half, and probably that first quarter is where they stem the bleeding. Yeah.
So ball back in the middle. Just waiting for the replay on that last goal, just to see who kicked it. I'm going to give it to Gur, but we'll just wait. It was plenty of bodies in that goal square. And ball held up once again in the middle. So it will be Melbourne Uni sitting pretty inside the top 6, a game clear. Yeah, the eyesight hasn't failed me just yet. It was Gur with that goal off the ground as Garner gets it on to Abertangelo. The third quarter spark up has driven her in the second half. Whitford now goes to Trend. Trend round the corner up towards half forward. Bounce. Riddell. Oh, clash of bodies right. Didn't hold back. Goes into Ash Riddell's taped up shoulder as well. Keep an eye on her behind play.
Will do.
As it was Gemma Wright not giving an inch as she went towards the football.
With only a handful of minutes to go, hopefully they're doing the right thing, taking her off the ground. Good move.
So ball inside the forward 50 arc now for Melbourne Uni. Riddell just heading from the field. It was a fierce knock. It was at full pace for Wright. She didn't stop. Ball inside the forward 50 arc now. Bruton couldn't take it. Whitford sees it over the line.
Good thing is she's not holding her shoulder, so I'm just guessing it might have been a head clash and she might just be a little bit dazed.
I think she might have got winded actually. Because
yeah, she was holding onto the ribs, wasn't she, Brad?
I think she might have got winded there. And it's the right thing to bring her off with only 4 minutes left.
The game's done.
Just want to look down at Scotty Gowan's how he was looking as she was coming from the field. You'd hate to be losing someone like that just in her 6th game of the season. Just got back from injury that occurred during the VFL W season. And when she did come back, she did sit a few weeks out due to injury on the sidelines as well with that shoulder. Back into the team over recent weeks. Here's a chance for the Blues. Opportunity now. Oh, great smother by Duffin. Plays on quickly. In towards the middle of Arden Street Oval. And the tacklers again rewarded for the Blues. Prinz goes out wide. Amanda Prinz, very active on social media. Great seeing her updates on Instagram as the fam and supporters all following her games. And I'm sure if they're not here today, which I'm sure they are, they'll be following here on VFL.com.au. As Bruton again racking up possessions at will today. That ball won't stay in play. It was a big ask for Saxon Jones. Couldn't quite get there before drifted over the line. Is a bit of an indication of the breeze, but it's not strong. It is towards the right of screen. It's certainly not causing that much drift. As I see the ball over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. 60 metres out from the Melbourne Uni goal.
The trees behind the goals right off screen are a great indicator how much breeze there is, and they're hardly moving compared to the game that was here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, certainly the Sandy versus North Melbourne game. Reminder, North Melbourne versus the Northern Blues coming up from 2 o'clock today. We see the return of Peter Mercado to the broadcast team for VFL Live. Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL round 17 action. Chisholm on the outer side. One of the Northern Knights teammates of Gutnick and Newton that came in for their debuts today. Kick inside forward 50. And Sarah Wright this time taking the mark. The Wright sisters doing a great job in defence today. Now a chance for Ebb. Can Gillespie Jones get another one on the board? And Jealous, no, just taken through for a rush behind. So another one on the board for Melbourne Uni. How are they going towards that highest score of the season, Brad Mullins?
Yeah, so they're 5 points off, or 4 points off now. They're probably not going to get it done, but it's a fantastic effort to get to 80-plus points at this level. At VFL W level, it's normally low scoring, and it's a fantastic effort to score so high.
A point a minute, 80 minutes of football, a point a minute.
Oh, Duffin!
What a mark.
Great mark over the top. And, they've still got that opportunity. 20 seconds left if Duffin can get it inside forward 50. You mentioned 4 points they need. Let's see what Duffin can do. If they can take the mark, there'll be a shot after the siren to get the biggest score of the season. And that is the ball game.
That's it.
The dream was alive there for a fleeting moment. And with the final siren, it goes right out the window. And a dominant performance today from Melbourne Uni, as we see for our video stream watchers. That'll be featuring in the top 5 plays of the week there from Jess Duffin. She's capped off a great game for Uni in today's match. But it is 12-9-81 Melbourne Uni. They have defeated Carlton 5-5-35. They started it with a dominant first term, one of the best quarters of football we've seen for quite a while. 5-3-33 in the first term, just the one behind. Stated their intentions early and have come away with a big win here at Arden Street Oval. Peter Lausch, run us through the goal kickers in the game today.
The goal kickers for the winners, 3 goals each to Ashmore and Angelis, and 2 goals to Saxon Jones, and singles to Abertangelo, Gillespie Jones, Garner and Duffin. And the goal kickers for Carlton, all singles, Gurr, Newton, Downey and Plain, and Cassa is the last of those 5 goal kickers for Carlton.
Just going to give you in a moment a quick update. Melbourne Uni have jumped to 3rd spot on the VFL W ladder. They've increased their percentage by 10%. They're up to 141%, so they've got the 3rd best percentage in the competition. Richmond obviously playing tomorrow, so they've got a chance to stay in 3rd. But with Richmond playing tomorrow and also the Western Bulldogs playing later today, Melbourne Uni could drop as far down as 5th spot. Also, with those results.
You would think the Northern Territory would have to beat the Bulldogs for Melbourne to stay in that 3rd spot over 9. Northern Territory, if they win, they go into 6, so there's a lot of incentive there as well. But Melbourne Uni, huge percentage, and now to add another 10% today in one game, it's fantastic. So they keep winning, and they keep on winning big. Who knows what could happen at the end of the year.
Brad Mullins, your thoughts on the game today?
The best VFLW game I've seen by one individual side in the history of the VFLW that I've been seeing games, without a doubt. Melbourne Uni were fantastic. Their first quarter set them up, and after that they just were... They controlled the game, besides that probably 10 minutes in the second quarter where Carlton controlled play. But, geez, they're going to be running into finals red hot if they continue this form up. So it's going to be exciting to see Melbourne Uni for the next probably 8 weeks of the season if they can get to the grand final.
Well, with our video stream coming up at 2 o'clock, we're going to say goodbye to our video stream audience today, and we will see you next week on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon football, when we'll be broadcasting live from Windy Hill for Essendon taking on the Southern Saints. So we'll see you next week from 11:30 a.m. See you then.